Hello everyone, it's Dan from In Gaming. Welcome to a new series. This is Wasteland 2 Director's Cut. Now this is definitely a couple years old at this point. Little background, I actually played Wasteland back when I was a young kid on a Commodore 64. For those who use such ancient devices. And boy, talk about a fun, fabulous post-apocalyptic role-playing game on the computer. It was brutal. It was neat. It was fun wandering around the wasteland. I believe sort of this led, the original Wasteland, eventually led to games like Fallout and the whole Fallout series. Not necessarily the same developers, but there is definitely now a significant niche in gaming for sort of post-apocalyptic games, whether we're talking the MMOs haven't succeeded so well, but whether it's survival games or role-playing games, they are out there and they are fun, especially for people who enjoy that genre. That said, thanks to Kickstarter and things like that, some of the old game developers are coming up with sequels. And they're able to raise enough funds, since a big-time studio won't pick it up, and sort of continue the dream, as it were. And so we decided, since I like to run at least 2 series concurrently, and our RimWorld finished up, that we did a little poll, and the most votes were for an RPG. Now, there are newer RPGs out there, but I had this in my library, and I'm sorry about that, and I played it a little bit. Not a whole lot, but I played a little bit when I originally got it. And I wanted to revisit it, especially because I could revisit it with you guys. So this is a role-playing game. It's, I'll call it turn-based, if you will, in combat. It is about a band of rangers in a post-apocalyptic setting where we're here to help help the people out. We'll learn some in the beginning. And we're going to have a team of characters, 4 characters, and then we will meet people. We will adventure. We will do things. We will wipe out menaces. We will loot. We will gain guns and armor and things like that. We will level our characters and they will gain skills. That's kind of how an RPG works, generally speaking, and not the actual tabletop role-playing games, but in a computer setting. So I've done a little preparation. This is mostly going to be sort of I suspect, an intro episode, because I think we'll run through a few little tutorials in the beginning. So we're going to choose new game. And apparently it will take a while. So squad creation. So we can use the default squad or create a custom. Well, I almost never like using a default squad. That's no fun. So I am going to do create a custom squad. Now we can create custom rangers or select existing rangers. So I have made 4 rangers already. I did this off camera because going through that's just a lot to put on camera. And so I've saved each one, so they now count as existing rangers. So these are the ones that come with the game. So they're probably part of if you take the default squad. So Bear, who's a hunter in theory, Big Bert the bruiser, Cherry Bomb, Cold Eye the sniper, Fade, Hex, Pills, Slick, Widow O'Neill. Oh my, looky what we have here. 4 characters with names, if you watch the channel and if you read the comments, you may recognize. So, in my future RimWorlds and other games like that, I 100% plan to offer opportunities to our regular viewers and regular commenters the ability, and I'll rotate, randomly pick, those kind of things. In this case, we have very limited characters in this game. So I have chosen some of our most frequent commenters, particularly on my series, but in general, and I have named some characters after them. So, to go through it, E.G. Sixfinger, we'll do a quick overview. is usually it's a name that I've used in a lot of games. So we're using it here. And E.g., he's the leader of the pack. He leads his fellow YouTube Rangers into the wilderness. So as you can see, I've given him very low skills, but quite a few skills. He's got computer science, leadership, lockpicking, safecracking, shotguns, and weaponsmithing. Shotguns apparently is a questionable skill in that it does sort of a conal effect and can be dangerous to party members. So limited use, short range, eventually supposedly can be reasonable. He has these are the attributes, and my suggestion is if you're going to play the game, you should definitely maybe read some up about these because I don't think the game explains it too well. It's a whole little, they call it classic. If you look at the first letters of each of these words, CLASSIC, and you have limited points to spend like any RPG. And we will earn some as we level, but not, I think it's 1 every 10 levels or something like that. So he's got a 2 coordination, a 1 luck, 3 awareness, 2 strength, 4 speed, 10 intelligence, and 6 charisma. So the ones to point out here are the intelligence and the charisma. Intelligence is really going to control how many skill points he gets every level. He's going to get a lot. I think it's 5. Charisma helps in recruiting certain NPCs, but it also helps. I could be wrong. I was going to say I think it helps with the leadership, so the range of the leadership. The skill itself basically is almost like a buff around you, a radius around you. So if your team members are in it, you're making them, you give them some additional benefits, like I think they're more accurate and some other things. Your NPCs, they don't decide to do whatever the hell they want occasionally, those kind of things. So E.g. is our leader and our sort of skill boy, if you will. Okay, so we'll select him and we'll we'll wait. So we have Hunts. So Hunts has done a great BattleTech series. I also watch his No Man's Sky, and we have Hunts here. Hunts is our master of BattleTech. Oh yes, he's doing the Warframe stuff too. You see, I put that in there. And he takes his tactics and skills into the Wastelands. He also plays many other games. I was just naming a couple. So he is going to, as you can see, he's going to be one of our main frontline combatants. He's got a 3 in assault rifle to begin with, a 1 in weaponsmith. He's going to be our outdoorsman, a 1 in outdoorsman, and a 1 in demo. He'll be our demo guy. His stats: 2 coordination, 1 luck, 8 awareness, 2 strength, 10 speed, 4 intelligence, and 1 charisma. So he's still getting a decent amount of skill points, so that he'll be able to raise his skills. He's very fast and very aware. These are significant primary combat stats. It'll actually control how many APs he gets, so action points, and also how early he moves, like his initiative, how early he moves in the turn and how often, which will be really important. So Chronocide is our other frontline guy. Chronocide is another frequent commenter. Is definitely watching our BattleTech series, and Chronocide knows the silence and violence of the Wasteland. His mission to bring peace and serenity, one way or another. So, you know, I've chosen, this is not necessarily how they look. I've chosen some, you know, avatar pictures and used the limited amount of choices you have from choosing a character looking thing. He has an assault rifle 3, a perception of 2, so he's going to be our perception guy, and a weaponsmith of 1. He has pretty much exactly the same stat combination that Hunts does, you know, very oriented around the action points and the speed and the initiative. Okay? They're both going to be our assault rifles primarily. Then the last but not least, Silacat. So Silacat has a keen eye and a sharp wit. He's the heart of the Ranger team and brings swift justice on their enemies from afar. So Silacat is our surgeon, our field medic, although we're going to probably want to reserve some points for other people just in case we need, you know, Silacats down. Weaponsmithing of 1 and sniper rifles of 3. We are going to put a sniper rifle, if we can get our grubby little hands on it, in Silacat's hand. Now, Silacat has a different stat combination. Still the 4 int, so we get a decent amount of skill points, but 10 speed and 8 coordination rather than the awareness. So Silacat's going to have more APs, going to be fast, probably a little bit lower on the initiative, but you know, so that we can get around and we can eventually be a crack shot with a sniper rifle. So that's our group. So we're going to go ahead and pick them in order. Unfortunately, this does not show the perks and things that I picked for them. So we'll run into those as we go. But essentially, we made hunts. We've sort of restricted our party dialogue option wise by making hunts. He's like a hard ass or an asshole or something like that. No offense, hunts. Which means we won't be able to do things like the wise ass stuff. So we won't be able to joke with people. It'll limit our dialogue options, but it'll make it so that I don't have to hem and haw so much. EG, I think, and Silocat both get reduced skill points for the first 10 levels. They're like delayed learners, but then they gain more after that. And then Chronocide, I can't recall the quirk or the perk. Darn it, just not coming to me off the top of my head. Actually, Chronocide, I think, is one of the delayed, EG and Chronocide. Silocat actually has got brittle bones. Which increases the AP, but makes you move less in combat, like you don't move as far range-wise. Okay, so that's what we got. Let's get hunts up front. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Okay, oh yeah, see, quirk, asshole. We'll select another person. Let's go with Chronocide. Okay, so boom, boom. Silocat. There you go, brittle bones. Oh, I did remember correctly. And EG. So there's our party of 4 rangers. So let's go hit play. Okay, so looks like we have difficulties. So there's rookie, you're a noob, seasoned, some experience, ranger, more difficult, and supreme jerk. God awful is what I hear. So I'm going to go with seasoned. I am certainly not a newbie to RPGs or gaming in general. My previous Wasteland experience is probably not going to really come into handy. But I'll go with seasoned. Even though normally I do like to challenge myself, this is a YouTube series. I do not want to end up in some kind of, oh, everybody died, let's reload. I don't want to end up into a lot of that if I can help it. I may also do some XP grinding, things like that, off camera in between certain episodes. But we'll just go with seasoned. We want to have a fun playthrough and experience the story. RPGs are often very much about character development and story. So, off we go. Nice sort of pictures in between. You can see everybody's belt buckles, the Ranger Star. So, here we go. Okay, well that's interesting. They're going to put the credits up front. Like I said, I played this a little bit when I first got it, but I have not actually been in except for the creating the characters. I'm going to actually click. I want to skip by that. Okay, General Vargas. Thank you, recruits.
Thank you, recruits.
Oh, look at that. Shiny shovel. Oh, he's going to talk first, too. Looks like we're burying someone. A stiff-bearded older man wearing a hard-worn ranger uniform and a battered old cowboy hat. General Vargas walks with a cane, but he's not helpless. He wears a pearl-handled revolver on his hip, and there are a lot of notches on the barrel. Well, that seems silly. You think you'd find something else to notch. Okay, click anywhere, or press spacebar, or enter to continue. Okay.
I appreciate you coming.
Looks like we'll have our dialogue right here.
Party when you hardly knew the man. Appropriate too, seeing as how investigating his death will be your first duty as a desert ranger.
Okay, I'm gonna, if I can remember, I'm gonna let them talk rather than me read. So I think maybe we can click on these things like, hey, let's talk about dude. Oh, they're down here. So they do, when certain dialogue happens, it shows you it in different colors, but it puts it down here as options. But it's not like we're just randomly typing crap. So it's very guided. So let's go ahead and ask about Ace. How did Ace die?
Ace has been trying to locate a faint radio signal, which has lately been giving us cause for concern. We gave him 3 repeater units and sent him to hook them up to 3 remote radio towers. This would have allowed us to get a fix on the signal. But sadly, Ace was murdered by unknown assailants right after hooking up the first tower, and his logbook and the last 2 repeater units were stolen.
Wow, that's unfortunate for Ace. I am going to point out, it looks like you can choose to talk with different people. Hunts, we have talking, and that's really all that matters because he's the guy who's, you see, he's a 10 and hard ass, period. Can't do anything else. I don't think we'll, so it restricts us to that because of the perk or quirk that we chose. So, what do you guys think? Let's talk about the faint radio signal. The signal, is it a threat?
The voice on those broadcasts disturbed me greatly. It talked crazy talk about a future where man and machine would be one. Worse, it talked about us, the Desert Rangers, specifically. It said it was coming for us.
Ooh, that sounds threatening. Let's talk about repeater units, eh?
When you get back to the Citadel, talk to our radio expert,
Okay.
Wade Woodson, if you want to know more about the technical details. All I know is the repeaters will upgrade the towers and allow us to zero in on the mystery signal.
Okay. Let's ask, where are the radio towers?
I'll give you the locations of the towers once you have the repeaters in hand. More important to find them first.
Okay. What about that logbook? You think it was stolen?
Don't know, but it wasn't on Ace's person when he was found. Look for it. It might have some clues as to his death.
Okay, and the last but not least, Duty. Happy to be given the opportunity, sir, but are you sure we're ready?
Yeah, I know. You've hardly found your feet with us, and here I am sending you on a mission that already got one ranger killed. Well, I wish I had another option, but the Desert Rangers are spread a little thin right now. Ranger teams Abel and Charlie are out west trying to stop a range war out there from becoming straight-up genocide. And Team Baker is up north looking for a way through the radiation that's cut us off from Vegas. I'm afraid the next generation is going to have to lead the charge on this one.
I'm glad he has such confidence in us. Okay, what's the mission, sir?
The mission is this. Search the area where Ace's body was found, and do your best to recover his logbook and the repeater units. Then call in your report. If you find the repeaters, I may send you on to finish his mission.
Okay, recover the logbook, the repeater units, and call in a report.
Ace's death must be avenged, and it will be. But finding the signal he died trying to track down is just as important. Besides, I got the sneaking suspicion that when you find the one, you'll find the other.
Okay, where is this area?
It's about a day's walk east from here. I'll mark it on your map.
Thank you, sir. Uh-huh. Ranger Citadel, radio tower. For those familiar with U.S. Geography,
There you go.
oh, map disappeared. I'm sure we can pull it up later. But as you can, you may have seen, we're in the southwest. So let's talk about the call-in.
Yes, call in on your radio. Your radio is your lifeline to Ranger Citadel. We'll be calling you with alerts and updates on your current missions and sending you new missions when we receive distress calls. As Rangers, it is your sworn duty to respond to those calls. That is the contract we made with the people of Arizona when we opened for business.
Okay. See, Arizona. When can we enter the
Once you prove
Citadel?
yourself, the Citadel will be your new home. Consider this mission the final test of your training. If you succeed, you are welcome within our walls. If you fail, then you aren't cut out to be a Desert Ranger, and we won't let you in.
So, interestingly, so the three options we have at the bottom: prove, test, succeed. And as you see, they have different colors, and they also are by a skill. So there's the hard ass, the kiss ass, and the smart ass. And as I've told you, we can't learn, and we can't use kiss ass and hard ass, or sorry, kiss ass and smart ass, because we've taken the asshole trait, and that makes us a very good hard ass for no skill points at all. So
The hard-ass approach, huh? Well, you might get what you want from some folks in the Waste through intimidation, but it doesn't always work, particularly with old hard-asses like myself. You want to kick down our doors, go ahead, give it a try. But I ain't pissing myself just because you growled at me.
okay, General is not intimidated. Thank you, sir. We'll
Good
do
luck
our
out there,
best.
recruits.
Okay, so looking around here, real quick around the interface, it looks like this is, I think, our radio. So we can call, I don't know what the number will represent. Apparently there is a toggle UI customization, a pause, I don't know what the end is, maybe end turn. This is our party. I think we have 32 hit points apiece, except for, yep, everybody, 32 out of 32. This looks like the way we would use the skills we potentially have. We can use the number keys, 1, 2, 3, 4, or items. So looks like demolitions for booby traps, outdoors to avoid random encounters. Those probably happen somewhat automatically. We might have some painkillers and some smokes. Looks like we have an M1. This is, again, hunts. Chronicide has an M1 as well. We have perception, allows us to reveal details, and we have some more pain relievers, heal some hit points. Silacat, we have many more skills on the bar, the field medic and the surgeon. Looks like we start with some medic packs, which are healing, trauma kit, which may help us revive people, like if you go down. Some normal pain pills and some smokes. He's got a hunting rifle, so that looks like a sniper weapon. EG, on the other hand, has lockpicking, safe cracking, computer science, some pain pills, and a pump shotgun. This is how many APs it takes. Looks like this is how many ammo is left in the clip. We've got how much armor penetration, the critical chance, and then the damage. So we didn't really look at each one, but you can see definitely damage higher. None of these, they don't really indicate, I think. Oh, see, we can mouse over this and it'll show sort of the meters in range and your penalties and those types of things. So we'll figure this out when we get in combat, although it'd be horrible to get in combat and be like. So we have a logbook. This is like these little quests, or guides helping us, sort of the tutorial. So here's the logbook. Apparently, it's a guide to the missions. You can access from the inventory, and we can get more details. Okay. So, logbook, L, there it is. Okay, this is our mission, right? Search. We gotta go find it. That looks to be the only thing we have on here. Looks like we can also flag them. We can look at ongoing versus resolved. This shows the learned perks. Again, sorry, we're on hunts, but I can switch between them. The skills, which we've already reviewed. There are little breakpoints in each skill that give you additional things. Unlocks perk abilities, I think. We have better explanations. Here, see their water. You need to keep water. They use water while we're out traveling. It's an important thing to keep aware of. We've age, all that stuff's just fun, but at least it tracks kills and damage done and stuff like that. And inventory, so we were sort of looking, we can see how much ammo they actually have, not a whole lot. And, it looks like we can equip them with a secondary weapon. We get more information about, chance to hit and things like that. Here also, this is where we would equip things like armor and those types of things. Looks like we can filter our inventory or look at all. And that's our weight capacity. None of us are very strong, so we're going to have to not be hoarders, sell. So we can just quickly glance through everybody's inventories. You can see most pretty much what we would have expected based on what we saw up front. Not a lot of ammo. We also see the number of APs, we see their level, we see how much XP they need to the next level, and some various other secondary stats. Okay, getting out of here. So, like they said, we can do that. So we basically looked, except for the squad grouped, we looked at the character screens, we looked at the logbook, and we looked at the inventory. These are combat things: crouching, swapping weapons, reloading, precision strike. Okay, so I don't know what these, scroll up, scroll down, okay. What happens if Mr. Hunts, what happens if I go pick up the shovel? Okay, we'll go ahead and take the shovel. And we can go look at it. Oh, using items. You may find many items. To use these, you can open your inventory and right-click and select the Use button before left-clicking on target, or assign it to your hotbar. Remember, most items can only be used on certain objects or characters. Okay, well, what happens if I click here? Okay, when I right-clicked, it did the little eye icon. And so I looked at it. Here lies Ace, born a man, died a desert ranger. Apparently, I can't talk to these guys.
Why are you still
Okay,
here, recruits?
General's
I
pissed
gave
that
you
I
your
clicked on
orders.
him.
Now go search the area where Ace is.
Yeah,
Look out
chill,
there,
man.
recruits.
I don't appear to be able to zoom out. Okay, right click. So I'm examining each of these gravestones. Cadet, Supreme Jerk. Okay, fair enough. I'm just looking around. They gave us a shovel, right? You guys see anything? I don't see like really something to dig. Those look like birds. What about over here? I wonder whether there's a rotate. I don't know what it would be. No, okay, so arrow keys move the screen. Is this the Ranger Citadel that I can't get in yet? Probably, but maybe not. Okay, what happens if I do squad grouped? Does that mean we do stuff? Nope. Now we do stuff together. So we're moving along. I don't think that's the exit. And unless I figure out... Okay, me hitting control does a little beepy beepy. Oh, we'll just keep on moving because I don't know what else to do here. Alright, oh, good to see you, says Grenadier. Recruits, afraid I can't open this door. And the door I think that we're talking about is this door. Yeah, those huge doors. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. But we can talk to this guy over here. That looks good. Oh, here we go. I could have sworn I tried to zoom out before. So mouse scroll wheel zooms you out. So we're going to have Hunts talk to this individual. Oh, we can look at her. Kindly older woman, standard issue. Okay. Loving grandmother. Smells faintly of fresh baked cookies. Well, so apparently, unless it's really, really dialogue, they don't have voiceovers in some cases. So, well, hello, recruits. Solvig Sundries, happy to trade. Make your acquaintance. Okay. Let's ask her about her story. Grew up in a village near here. Grandmother twice over. Saw how much good the Rangers were doing. Okay, fair enough. Keeps us well fed and well clothed. Okay, fair enough. A lot of story here. What's General Vargas like? He's a modern day Patton. Okay. How about the Ranger Citadel? He loved the place. Had some kooky birds back then. Okay, fair enough. What about Sergeant Melson? Great friend, great quartermaster. Nice. What about Captain Mercaptain? Smartest person I ever met. She can whip up laser beams and water purification systems. Wow. What can you outfit us with? Essentials, tough to find, can't give them away for free. You can stop by for basics whenever. And once you get clearance to enter the Citadel, you'll get access to some more valuable goodies. Okay. Let's see what they got to trade. So this is the trading window, I guess. And so this, we're on the buy window, obviously. And this is what they have. So she's got some goat hide armor. All right. We have a total of 50 squad scrap. I guess that's what the currency is. As you can see, 125, 125. Ooh, look. Rifles. Significantly better than the shitty ones we start with. Significantly. But they're also way more expensive than we can afford. Even there, you know. I mean, it compares it to what you're wielding. Look at that damage. 14 to 18 versus 7 to 12. Much bigger capacity, clip capacity. And this one over here, you can even do burst shots. It's pretty impressive, but we're going to need to work our way up. Basically, we're not going to be able to afford anything here. Oh, we can afford a shovel. You know, yay. Okay, looks like there's a scroll bar. We do have a filter here as well. So ammunition, that's going to be something we're going to probably have to buy. We won't be able to always buy. Hopefully this is for all of it, not 150 each. I think it's for all of it. So it is certainly something we're going to have to consider. Oh, look, a figurine that can make it help us be an animal whisperer. We got some surgery stuff and medicine, anti-venom, some demo, dynamite. Okay, so we're good. We're out of here. Hey, good talking. Nah, nothing today for us. I wish there was. Okay. Oh, good to meet you. Good to meet you. Now, looks like we got a couple things going on
Hey,
here.
Echo 1. Mind picking up that can over there for me? Think there's some water in there.
This can, huh? Okay. I think this guy's tricking us. Did you read that? Tin cans and goats usually go together. Your instincts are telling you you might not want to steal this goat's next meal. Look at this goat. Okay. We can look at these guys. We got some more rookies we can talk to. Ah, we got some rocks over here. That's probably what the shovel's good for. And that's to go out into the wasteland. Looks like a couple piles of rocks. So we probably want to talk to these guys. Oh yeah, look at that. Look, a good number of pile of rocks, and then a couple people to talk to around here. So, should we fall for this trick? Yeah, I guess we can fall for the trick. Hunts will get pissed. Hey. Oh.
He headbutted you right in the butt.
Wow, Hunts. How do you feel about that? Shoot this guy? No violence yet. These are comrades in arms, right? Okay, so we talked to the goat. That wasn't very useful. Let's talk to these guys.
You think I was serious about wanting that can? I just wanted the goat to hit you in the ass.
That's not very nice, Rook. Oh, these guys are like real rookies. I mean, we're just one step up from rookies, but okay, so we're moving along. Doesn't look like we can interact with any of this stuff. You know, again, a lot of decoration, right? We do have a guy over here. Talk to this dude. He's got to clean up this graffiti. Well, that's all great for you. So this is an interesting place that it doesn't look like I can get into. Well, there is a fence. Oh. So, a 76% chance to lockpick. Hunts brute force 0%. Okay. Well, let's, how do we dig here? It was I for inventory. And then this, and then let's just go ahead and add it to a hotkey. And so now it's on here, it's 5, right? Look at Hunt's dig. So it looks like we dug up a deck of cards, some scrap, and energy shell ammo. Unfortunately, 2 of these things weigh weight, but we will take them all. It's free loot, right? So let's look at using skills first. Use an active skill. You need to assign it to the hotbar by right-clicking, and then left-clicking on the one you want to put in the slot. Left-click on the object. Okay. Sweet. Let's also look here. Scrap. Scrap is a currency you'll use in the wasteland. Pay for items merchants. They pay us back in scrap. We can have as much scrap as we want. It doesn't weigh anything. Yay! So, left click. So if I had other skills or other items in my inventory, I'm guessing I could select them to put them here on the hotbar. Okay. Should we mess with that? Let's, I'm not sure why we, oh, that's why we would. Is because there's a chest over there. Okay, let's, we want to be wrapping up this episode soon before we go out in the waste, but let's see if we can quickly clear this place out, as it were. 5. Go to work, Hunts. Dig, dig, dig. Okay, we got a little ring. We could probably sell some of this stuff. We got some more scrap, and we got some ammo for pistol, which, of course, we don't have a pistol. We are not a pistol. But we may end up with an NPC that uses a pistol. Dig, dig, dig. Look, we got a necklace and some more scrap and some more bullets. All good with me. Dig, dig, dig. Looks like those are not diggable. Ooh, scorched stuff box, can of tuna. We've got a mod magazine. You got to get weaponsmithing up, see, but you can mod weapons, which is cool. And take all of that. Weapon mods. Love their guns and weapon modifications. One way to make your weapons better. Attachments you can add to most weapons. I'm assuming some take certain mods and some don't. Okay. Installing mods. To modify, you need a squad with weaponsmithing. We've got it on everybody. There's a reason for that. We'll get into that eventually. Then select one in your inventory and use the attach mod option. You will then be able to select the weapon you want to attach it. They require different levels of weaponsmithing. Field stripping. Field stripping will allow you to break down unneeded weapons for parts, which can often yield weapon modifications to junk parts that can be sold to interested characters in the world. Field stripping requires a weaponsmithing skill. And it tells you the percentage of potentially what you might get, that kind of thing. Cool. So that will become important. Now, it doesn't look like we have anything to interact with except for Angela. Okay. Apparently you knew Ace.
Sorry about the waterworks.
Yeah, pretty broke up.
Over Ace. I'm Angie. You kids must be the new recruits old Vargas trained up. Lord, y'all just babies.
Yes, what about Ace?
They all hurt, but this one... Ace wasn't even a ranger. Not at first. He worked as a driver and mechanic for Fair and Brygo up in Vegas. When Base Cochise started sending its death machines into the desert, Brygo sent Ace south to recruit robot fighters. We met him in Quartz. He'd pissed somebody off out there and they'd locked him up. We sorted that out, and he started running with us, helping us fight Cochise. Never stopped. Vargas eventually gave him the uniform and the hat, but I don't think he ever formally signed on. He was just always there. And now he's...
Yeah, I think he's dead.
Okay,
General Vargas.
Better than he'd like. Back in the day, the General was the craziest of us all. But somehow, after he brought down Base Cochise, he became the sanest. Now he's running the whole show and doing a damn fine job. While I'm still walking patrols and answering radio calls. Shows you how much ambition I got, huh?
What about babies?
Sorry, but you are. As cute as little kittens. Y'all remind me of us.
So,
Snake, Razor.
some of these names I think were from the original
Back when
Wasteland.
we were just starting out. Thinking we were gonna save the world for the future. Christ, sorry. Don't listen to me. Youth is good. Optimism is good. If we all started out worn out and jaded like me, nobody'd ever try to change the world. So you kids go ahead and give it a go. Maybe it'll work this time.
Where's Quartz?
Not sure I can recall. Haven't been out that way in ages. Don't even know if it's still on the map. Ask Thrasher. He'd know.
You thought Ace's mission was trouble?
The same thing Vargas has you working on. Trying to track down radio signals from beyond the edges of the map. All seemed a bit boring and scientific to me. But then Ace started saying he thought someone was following him.
Okay.
I asked him to let me come with him when I met him at Rail Nomads to give him the repeater units. But he told me to go back to base. He said he was just jumping at shadows because those radio broadcasts had spooked him.
Obviously, this is a main, beginning part of the story.
Should have gone with him.
I don't know. Why didn't you go with him, Angela? Cochise,
An
Base
old military
Cochise.
facility from before the war. And the biggest fight the Rangers ever had. There was some crazy computer in there that kept spitting out robots and sending them off to kill people. We had one hell of a fight putting it down. Earned our stripes that day. Literally. That's when I became Captain Death.
Captain. That's computer was making the robots?
The base Cochise AI. Don't know what was wrong with it. Broken, I guess. It thought everybody was its enemy. Wanted to kill the whole planet.
Let's ask about Snake. So General Vargas used to be called Snake?
Well, like I said, he was one wild-ass son of a bitch back in the day. But I think the weight of his responsibilities has kind of squashed that out of him now. He hasn't been in a decent bar fight in, shit, a decade maybe?
Let's ask about Hellraiser.
He's another one gone. Went out for a patrol a few weeks back and never came home. Don't know if he's dead or AWOL or gone off to join the Scorpions. All anybody knows is he hasn't called in, and we haven't heard from anybody who's seen him. I miss old Hellraiser like blazes. Didn't talk much. Didn't make friends easy. Wasn't big on social graces. But he was as loyal as they come, and when the shit started flying, he was the guy you wanted at your back. He didn't win that name by accident. Sharp as a razor, scary as hell.
What about Thrasher?
You better call him Gilbert now. Funny, back in the day, he just seemed like this big old growly bear. Strong as an ox and just about as articulate. But then he got all torn up during our fight with the robots from Base Cochise, and he couldn't go out on patrol no more. Any other commander would have handed him his walking papers, but Vargas doesn't dump old friends. So he started him working in the museum. And once you know it, turns out the old bear has a knack for cartography. He's been gradually mapping our little corner of the Wasteland ever since.
Speaking of cartography, what about this rail nomad camp?
Could be a nice little place if the Atchisons and Topekans would kiss and make up. I can't even remember what it's all about, but between them, they got enough old railroad tech that if they worked together, they could give this area a real transportation system. Instead, seems like all they want to do is blow each other's heads off.
Okay, let's ask about the Red Scorpion.
You weren't briefed on those fucks during your training? Well, let me fill you in. You know when we left the prison and moved here to the Citadel? Well, the Scorpions were the jerks who moved into the prison when we moved out. Just a bunch of Rangers back then, but they've been getting...
Raiders back then.
Call themselves a militia now, and they try to act like they're the Desert Rangers of eastern Arizona. Well, that's a load of horse shit. The protection racket ain't the same as protecting people. They shake down all their towns for money, and if the locals don't kick in, they smash them up. The Rangers aren't like that. We get by on donations and good old-fashioned scavenging.
What can you tell me about eastern Arizona?
Basically everything between the prison and the radiation clouds to the east. There are a few small towns and farms out there, which the Scorpions claim is their territory. Rangers used to patrol that area before we moved here, and we knew it pretty well. But a lot can change in 15 years. Who knows? Maybe it's all as clean and nice and crime-free as the Scorpions say it is. But I've got my doubts.
Check out radiation
Those
clouds.
are the map, kiddies. Big hot areas we can't get into without getting cooked to a crisp. The clouds move around some with the wind and the weather, but there are permanent hot spots on every side of us. North, south, east, and west. Until we started hearing those weird broadcasts, I kind of thought those clouds went on forever, and that Arizona was the last place on Earth. But maybe there's more people out there. Maybe the whole rest of the world's just fine, and we're the only ones in hell. Wouldn't that be a joke?
Let's ask about those repeater units.
I don't really know the details. It's all a bunch of mumbo-jumbo about transmitters and north-south axis and signals bouncing off the clouds. Ask Woodson about it.
Okay.
He's our radio genius.
What about Woodson?
Radio technician Wade Woodson? Sure do. He's the guy that makes sure you can hear Vargas when you're out on patrol. Keeps the machines running and the signal clear. He'll also talk your ear off about circuits and frequencies and I don't know what else if you let him. But be nice to him. He's your lifeline to the base.
Fair enough. What about broadcasts?
Ace played me some of them before he died. Hard to make out a lot of it, but what I heard made my hair stand on end. Some guy talking about turning men into machines. Or machines into men or some shit. But the crazy thing was, then he starts talking about us, the Rangers, saying we're the cause of all the trouble in the world, and we need to be wiped out so his glorious future can be born. I mean, who is this guy? Where is he? What the fuck does he have against us?
Good question. Okay, I guess we say goodbye.
Say, listen.
Oh,
Vargas asked you to look into Ace's death because he thought I was too upset to be professional about it. He didn't want me going off half-cocked and shooting up all of Arizona looking for his killer. But I gotta find this guy. Ace and me, well, we've been fighting side by side for nigh on 20 years. I'm not letting him die unavenged.
fair enough.
So, well, I know it's going against orders, but if you let me tag along and be in at the kill, well, I'll help you find your feet out there. Maybe give you a few pointers along the way. I may be old and slow, but I know the wastes like the back of my hand. What do you say?
Sure, we'll bring you along. You can point out a few things for us. Sounds good. Okay, so we got a follower.
Cool. No need to tell Vargas why I joined you. If anybody asks, I'm just helping you get oriented, all right?
So it says during here you come across blah blah CNPCs, companions, controlled and customized. So we probably have access to their inventory. You see 92 hit points. She is definitely a captain, right? Way better than us. So if we were to look at her, she's got apparently Ace's wrench on her. She's carrying an M1, kind of a shitty rifle for someone who's got her rank. She got some faded leathers and some bullets. So, except for the fact that she's level 7 and, has a lot of hit points, and probably, I don't know where her skills are there, definitely better skilled than we are. It's not like she's outfitted with, I don't know, death gear, awesomeness. But, better than what we got. So, I think we are going to call it an episode. We probably went a little bit longer. It looks like I do have a thing or two to examine. I will examine this. This looks like water, maybe. Actually, we can just take a quick water. Okay, we can top off our canteen. So if we go over here, even though I think all our canteens are full. There. Okay. And I have this one gate over here to check out, and probably this crate. And I think, looks like we have one thing over here, ammo can. So we'll probably get some ammo and something out of there. And then what I will do is I will sell, the excess stuff, the stuff that looks completely useless, and plus we don't want to carry around, for scrap. I still don't think we'll have enough scrap to buy any better guns, but we'll be on our way. And then we'll join for the next episode ourselves right here before we set off. Okay? So, it's the beginning of a grand new adventure. We have hunts. We have Silocat. We have Chronicide, and we have EG. And of course, now we have Angela Death. And we will go forth into the Wasteland. And we will find those repeaters. And we will bring justice and peace to the lands that we patrol. So please like the episode if you like it. Feel free to add comments, things you're interested in doing, or questions. And please subscribe to the channel if you want to watch this series, any of our other series that we do at Ink Gaming. Thanks for your support, and we'll catch you next time.